Where did you go?
Well, can I just give myself an out here and say we're on a new platform, and this is my first time on our new time slot, and it's a new platform. So happy New Year, Simon.
Happy New Year. I think I think we went on the 30-second start rather than the 2 minute. It's not,
Okay,
it's
yeah,
not a
I'll
problem.
note that for the next time. It's great to be here with you, and I see it looks very sunny in Leicester. Is that the case?
It actually, do you know what? It is. Um, I'm just answering Jess. Um, so yeah, it's actually the disturbing thing was is we got back from Glasgow, and shockingly, England was colder than Scotland.
Oh,
So
well,
what on
that
earth
doesn't
is
happen
going on
often.
there? But anyway, this is my first live stream with British Isles Council Prophets this year, and good to see you. And it's good to see so many on board. I do love our American family. I mean, you guys are just after God. I don't even want to guess what time it is. New York. How far behind is New York?
They're not
40?
that far. They're only 5 hours. But look at California. Blessings coming in from Ventura, California. I think they're 7 hours,
So that's nearly
7 or 8.
what's that, midnight or a bit earlier? Well, anyway, it is an absolute joy to be here. We've got Sweden, we've got Leicester, that's close to where I am. Where else have we got? Alabama, Derbyshire, Ventura, Swanage. Just Swanage doesn't sound as posh as Ventura, does it really?
No, not.
But it is a joy to be online again. How are you? You had a good start to the year?
Yeah, great start. So I was outside of Ireland for the first 2 weeks of the year. I've been back about a week. So I was in your neck of the woods. I was, well, not quite your neck of the woods. You know, Americans were never great with the geography bit, but I was in England. I was in Scotland. I was in Northern Ireland. And then I've been back in the Republic down south. I've been back a week. I see Nora coming in from Cork. So it's great to have a neighbor coming on. But yeah, things are rolling and excited about what God has in store for 2024.
Yeah, I have to say those of you who weren't at the Start the Year Right conference up in Glasgow with obviously Emma and David, get the live streams because it was an epic time. It really was. God really did turn up, and it was such a power. To be honest, I would have gone just for the worship.
Wow.
Such a strong sense of the presence of God. But we are here to launch into what is God saying for 2024? Lora-Beth, have you been online yet? Is this your first one for?
This is my first one, so yes, I'm right there with you. It's my first time out of the chute in
Okay.
2024,
So
and just
what's
so
behind you?
yeah.
Sorry.
What did you say? What's behind me?
No, what's what is behind it? No, it
No,
feels a bit chaotic today.
no.
What's God putting on your heart?
Yeah, well, 2023 is behind me, and 2024 for the body. This is just an epic time for us to be stepping up and giving God our yes. And, you know, you can feel what God is doing in the hearts. As we closed out 2023, you could feel that God was putting us into a different place. And that full last quarter of 2023, we felt that repositioning transition for a good few. We're still in that place of transitioning into the fullness of what God has in the year ahead. And as the prophets are coming forth, we know that they're shaking. We know it's going to look different. We know that it's not going to be status quo in the place of what you and I have called church. And that may not be a new word, but what I really have sensed is this place of myself and some of our colleagues here, Simon, as we gathered at the very beginning of December in Glasgow, as a council, a lot of us are hearing from the Lord that it is a time of reformation, that things are being reformed within the church. And that place of reformation, it's exciting for those who have given Jesus their yes, because you can feel the ask of removal of what you and I have given yeses to. And it's not necessarily sin areas, but there's just relationships, there's models, there's groups that things are changing. And as we take our hands off of it and truly come into this place of surrendered humility, you can feel the excitement of going into what is unknown as far as what we can see in its fullness. But what we do know is that God is saying, I'm conforming my church to a model that you have not known or seen before. So how does that practically apply? In the last few days, as I've just really meditated on that and looked to unpack that, God just spoke to me about true and pure reformation is conforming to kingdom. And I know that sounds really basic, but this place of that we are conformed to kingdom. And so as I've sat with him on that, he's taken me to some real foundational scriptures that most of the broadcast will be familiar with, but that place in Matthew 5 that we see the Beatitudes listed. And, you know, as you read through the Beatitudes, you could almost do this spiritual MRI check going, I think I'm good on that. I have the peace of God on that. I'm walking that out. But that last piece of the Beatitudes, Matthew 5:10 says, blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And the word that I heard the Lord speak out, true and pure reformation, is conforming to kingdom. And so if God is saying foundationally here in Matthew 5 that persecution is a part of my kingdom, that you and I as the Western church have to come into this place of, as you read through Matthew 5 verse 11 and 12, it starts to speak about when evil things are said about you, when you are in this place that your reputation is on the line, that this passage of scripture actually calls us to rejoice over that, to be in a place of rejoice. It says, verse 12 says, rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven, for in the same way they persecuted the prophets.
Oh. Well, those of you who are watching, if you can let me know if Lora-Beth is froze for you, because she is froze for me. Oh dear. It appears we have lost Lora-Beth, and now there is just me. Let's see where things are at. Excuse me, people, if you're watching. If you want to just let me know in the comments if you're actually if you can actually hear me, because I have no idea. I assume that means you can. Are we still live, Jess? Right. Sorry, guys. Just trying to catch whether or not we're live or whether we're not live. So, Kingdom. It's interesting that off of the back of the stuff when we've been over in Dallas, when we were at a prophetic consultation in Dallas, and then again when we were together as the British Isles Council of Prophets in November after a prophetic gathering in Dallas, and then again when we were welcome back. I'm just filling the gaps. When we were literally just at the conference again, kingdom was coming up again, and now Lora-Beth, you're talking about kingdom and about the centrality of kingdom. In fact, part of the word that came out of the out of one of the prophetic gatherings last year is we're shifting from the church age to the kingdom age.
Yes.
And I think we all know the word, but we don't necessarily understand it fully, do we?
No, and you know, I think that that there's this real ask of of when we give out a word like that, just even for me personally, I've really felt the Lord say it's in humility, it's in surrender. Where is your humility and where is your surrender?
Mm.
And you know, as a council of prophets and as leaders, we've really spoken quite openly about platform is gone, celebrity is gone, that place of looking to see one person really promoted, but that we are coming into this place that we have to walk in the Ephesians 4 place of oneness in the body. And
Yep.
so when we're saying this word, we're looking to conform to kingdom, and we take it in its fullness. We have to understand that God is saying what you were calling kingdom, he is not calling kingdom. And part of that kingdom bit, which I was looking to give out before I was frozen there, was persecution is part of living kingdom. And that as the Western church, that God has really dealt with our hearts on this place of hierarchy that we've taken in the family of nations, and realizing it's not about us, but it's about a body, and that this is a time that we have to be okay. We have to get in this place of comfortable. If someone speaks evil about me, that it's actually a part of kingdom commandment in Matthew 5, verse 12, that I'm to rejoice. That I also really, as I was just praying and just before the Lord, before this broadcast, he again took me back to the James 1 piece about God is so calling for maturity in this time. So as prophetic words are going out for nations, and as prophetic words are going out for corporate churches, that is so exciting, in that God is readily speaking and freely speaking to his prophets and giving those directives. But in the walking out of that, my alertness in the spirit is in the pursuit of the prophetic word, and distracted from not living out kingdom. And part of living out kingdom is you and I coming into this place that we're okay with persecution, that the maturity of the body is coming up in this time. And I was on a leaders call recently that someone was just sharing that in their local gathering, they were saying to this leader that was talking, you need to teach more. And the leader responded, said, no, you need to grow up, because I have been teaching this for years and years and years. And now it's time for you and I to take that responsibility as sons and live as sons in the kingdom. That's where Reformation happens. That's where we look and act and breathe and speak in the place of we are sons of a king, and we walk in the kingdom. And therefore, his prophetic utterances, those will go out, and the church is going to look very different at the end of this Gregorian calendar year. Amen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just reflecting on that, even that statement in and of itself, when it says, "Blessed are you when you're persecuted for righteousness' sake." The question arises: if there's an absence of persecution,
Yeah.
is that because there's an absence of righteousness? And I think a phrase I've taken to using quite a lot is, you can't be a reformer whilst conforming. And I
That's it.
do believe we are going to be challenged with the realities of the fact that the world is worldly, which is not the most profound revelation you're ever going to hear on the broadcast. But is the church salt and light? And are the people of God living in a countercultural way to such an extent that actually the world objects to it or is attracted to it? Or are we in the place where there's so much compromise or so much watered down gospel that actually there's no longer any leaven in the lump, and the salt has lost its saltiness? And even with, I mean, if you've tracked with anything I've put out recently, I think we've made faith so individual, we've lost sight of the corporate and the awareness of the fact that actually the church is called to be a corporate body living kingdom life. I think I've lost Laura-Beth again. Have you gone again? She's gone again. She's back, and she's gone, and she's back again. This is a very clunky broadcast, guys. I'm really sorry. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to leave it there, because clearly we're having some problems. But we'll catch you next time, and hopefully we will have proper tech and everything will be flowing properly, because this week is absolutely awful. So Jess, if you want to take us down, we'll leave it there.